Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at solving inequalities using multiplication and division. Yesterday you used addition and subtraction, so today we're going to use multiplication and division. So if you look at that vocabulary right at the top, multiply each side of an inequality by a positive number produces an equivalent inequality. Multiply each side of an inequality by a negative number and reverse the direction of the inequality symbol. So that means if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we flip the inequality to face the other way. And we'll show you an example of that. But let's first start with just a regular inequality. We've got 3g is less than negative 12. So if that was, instead of a less than sign, an equal sign, what would I do to get g by itself? Somebody want to raise their hand? Yes, Jasmine. Divide. We're going to divide both sides by 3. So then g is less than negative 4. And we would make an inequality symbol. We've got 3g is less than negative 12. We divided both sides by 3. We've got g is less than negative 4. Then we make our little graph. And we've got negative 5, negative 4, negative 3. Remember, because you need two numbers on either side. Is it going to be an open or closed circle over negative 4? Do you want to answer this? Yes. It's an open circle because it's not underlined. So I put an open circle over negative 4. Then it says g is less than negative 4. Which way is my arrow going to go? To the right or to the left? It's going to go to the left. Remember, the arrow shows which direction it's going to be, and you would rather owe me $3 than owe me 5. So negative 5 is actually less than negative 4. Okay? Let's try another one that's a little bit more difficult. We've got negative 3 is less than negative 3p. Now, just like the last time, we're going to divide both sides by a negative 3. But remember that rule in the vocabulary, when you divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1, but we flip the inequality to go the other way, p, because these are canceled. Is everybody following me? We moved a negative over by multiplying or dividing. We have to flip the inequality. Now, this is really hard to graph. So I'm going to do it the other way, where I put p first. So I've got p and I've got 1. Which one is the alligator eating up top? Is it eating the p or the 1? The 1. So I make the alligator still eat the 1. Now this is going to be easier for me to put on a number line. I've got 0, 1, and 2. I've got a number on each side of my 1. I'm going to put an open circle because it's not underlined. And I just put my arrow the same direction that the inequality goes. You can't do that if p is not listed first, or if the letter's not listed first. Okay, so we dealt with dividing to get the letter alone. Let's look at multiplying in order to do it. We've got m over negative 3 is less than 2. If that was an equal sign instead of a less than sign, how would I get m by itself? Jasmine? Yeah, I multiplied both sides by a negative 3. Uh-oh, but I'm multiplying by negative, so what happens to my inequality sign? You flip it, so it goes the other direction. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Then we have our number line. We have a number less than negative 6, which would be negative 7, negative 6, and a number greater than negative 5. And I'm going to put an open circle over negative 6, and m is greater than that. So it would go towards ones that are greater, or it points which way it would go. Yes, ma'am?
I thought it only switched if you multiplied negative by negative on the other side.
No, if you move a negative, If the one you're moving is negative, such as -3 is, you have to flip your inequality. So we moved a negative for the last one, we moved a negative for this one, it had to change. Why don't you guys try the next one on your own? We've got -2 is less than or equal to y over 4. So you're going to get y by itself. You've got to move y to the correct side, and then you can graph it. Got a question, Josh? Alright, does somebody want to tell me what I do to get y by itself? Mr. Marks, what do I do?
You multiply 4 on both sides.
You multiply 4 by each side. Okay, let's look at this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a little tricky. Is the number that I moved a negative? No. So it means you do not flip your sign. So 4 times -2 is -8. We keep the sign the same. Y. Now, it's hard to graph if it's like this. So I'm going to move y to the other side. But which way is my alligator eating? Is it eating the y or the -8? It's eating the y. So I make it still eat the y. Okay? I've got -9, -8, -7. I'm going to have an open or a closed circle over -8. Closed because it's underlined. And then y is greater than or equal to it. So it goes towards the numbers that are greater or it points in the direction that I want to go. So remember, we only flip the sign if the number we're moving is negative. You guys feel pretty comfortable about this?